Right, let's talk about the Everton game then. I've written down 3 words. I've written down must-win game. I know he says that every game is a must-win game, but I mean, let's be honest, Steve. We're rock bottom of the league, and nothing but a win will do.
Yeah, on home soil, so you've got that theoretical inherent advantage, and we've actually played all right the last few home games. We've been certainly from the start of games we've been fine, and it's now all about carrying that on, not doing anything stupid, and getting the result at the end of it. Because we can kind of bang this drum and sort of look at this broken record for the entirety of the season where we say, oh, we played well for an hour and then we did something stupid and gave the game back to the opposition till the cows come home. But it's getting quite tiresome. So can we win, please? That'd be nice.
Are we going to have some fun? That's what I want to know. I mean, Alfie, Everton scored a stoppage time equaliser yesterday, so we're going to have to be on it if we're going to get something.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't gone back and listened to the pod we did after the Cup game where they were crap, to be honest with you. And they, like, in particular, Jesper Lindstrom, who looked just like he had no idea what to do in front of the goal. But that being said, they're obviously 5 games unbeaten now. And I just, for quite a few weeks now, I've got really no worries about Everton in terms of them staying up this season. I just think that they've actually got a half-decent team, and I think that they always seem to manage it, and they've obviously got an experienced gaffer in Sean Dyche as well. So I don't necessarily think they're going to go down. I think it's a tough game to bring them at home. But that being said, they still struggle to sort of put the ball in the back of net, particularly Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And, you say it took them until the 90th minute the other day. They did beat Ipswich, as Southampton should have done as well. And yeah, it's going to have to be about what Southampton can do and just getting over the line. We know that they're good enough to take a game to teams, but obviously the real test is mental now. It's just, can they concentrate in all the key moments? Can they avoid collapsing? Which, as Glen said, they did avoid that yesterday. They could have gone under, 5 minutes in, a couple of points in the game. They never did. They never looked like going under. And they've got to just bring that spirit and togetherness again for next weekend. But yeah, I don't think it's an easy game by any means. And I think listening to Franny Benali speak in his column this week, it's all well and good sort of looking at these games like, oh, these are the ones that are must win and these are the ones where you can win. But actually, it's not easy and it is tough and a lot of pressure gets put on it, and they've got to deal with that. They've got to deal with that this weekend. It's going to be a tough one.
I'm mindful, Glenn, of trying not to put too much pressure on this game, but it's just the situation we're in, isn't it? That's where we are. If we're not going to win this, then we are royally screwed.
The pressure's come from 1 point in 9 games. The pressure doesn't come from playing Everton at home. If we had 10 points already, then there wouldn't be any pressure whatsoever on this game, really, other than it being a game of football in front of 32,000 people or whatever. So, we brought this pressure on ourselves, and this is what we've done through not closing out the Ipswich game, not closing out the Leicester game. If you think what another 3-4 points would do for the league table, we probably wouldn't be in the bottom 3 even. So yes, this would still be an important game, but it wouldn't be a we have to win this game, otherwise we're screwed kind of game, which is basically how we're looking at it. I mean, I do think you have to look at it in conjunction with the Wolves game the following week, because Wolves are down near the bottom as well, and positive results in these 2 games would make a massive difference. I mean, it would certainly take away all the, if we managed to win these 2 games, it would certainly take away all the questions about Russell Martin losing his job. In the first instance, but defeats in these 2 games, and you're really running out of road with where are we going, and is this ever going to work? And Steve hit the nail on the head earlier. We can't have another one of these. Well, we played well for half an hour, 60 minutes. We defended well, but we didn't attack well. We attacked well, but we didn't defend well. We've got to put it together for the whole game. And with Everton, there's always going to be the danger of, the set piece in the last minute with 4 players who are 8 foot tall crashing in on the goalkeeper. That's how they got the goal that got them the point yesterday. There's always going to be that threat from them. They are a team of seasoned Premier League players. If you look at the side that played yesterday, I'll just have a quick look at it. You got like Tarkowski, Keane, Cour, Idrissa Gueye, Harrison, McNeil, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Pickford. They've all been around the Premier League for quite a long time. It's an experienced team. Sean Dyche knows what he's doing at Premier League. He will be looking at our weaknesses. He will be looking at our crap record defending set pieces. So first off, whenever you play a Sean Dyche team, you have to stand up physically to the challenge. And yesterday, we showed some good signs. Obviously, Haaland is the only real physical player, but we at least were up for the challenge. All the centre halves, the goalie, Ramsdale kind of was quite happy to throw himself into the spokes as Haaland bared down on goal in the last minute. So, we did show signs, but Saturday is the day when it has to all come together, and we have to put in some sort of complete performance. But having said that, we don't have to play them off the park. We just have to win by any means necessary. And if that's 1-0 with an own goal off someone's backside, then that's fine. This is all about the result. But we have to put things together in order to have a chance of getting that result. And then we need to take a leaf out of Everton's book, because they got their first win, which I think was against Palace, and since then they've won one, drawn a couple, and suddenly they've started to look like the sort of team that'll finish mid-table. So that's what we have to aspire to do, is to get that first win, and then look to build on that, and from that first win, realise what it takes to get over the line, and it's going to be a nervy old game, but Saturday's the day when we really have to do it.
I think we've already taken a leaf out of the Everton book this season when you actually go back and remember some of their collapses in the first few games. Do you remember obviously being 2 goals ahead in the last sort of 5 minutes and losing? Yeah, it feels like they've come a long way from those few weeks.
Yeah, they got beat by Villa, didn't they? They were 2-0 up against Villa and lost 3-2 in the last minute. And they
did it twice in the space of a week, didn't they? Because the Bournemouth one was mental. But
they've obviously learned from that, and you look at that list of players that they've got in their team. It's a team built in Sean Dyche's image basically now, and it'll be a tough one, but it won't be particularly. They're not going to carve you open with wonderful football, but it's going to be a game where you have to stand up and try and impose your game on them.
It worth mentioning. Sorry to cut you off, Ryan.
Go on.
I was say sorry to cut you off twice, but it is worth mentioning that Dwight McNeil, who is their sort of creator in chief, did actually limp off at the weekend, and it looks like he might be a doubt. Obviously, like Glen said, you got to worry about what you do first, but it would be good if he wasn't available.
Yeah, it would be.
Steve, obviously it's Wolves away after this, so is it a case of 4 points from those games and we're off and running, or do we need more than that at the moment?
No, I think 4 would probably be acceptable. I think ultimately you probably also look at how Wolves get on against Palace next week, because you think if Wolves suddenly win that, then maybe there's a little bit more pressure on needing to get more than a draw when we get them on you. But no, I mean, I think Ipswich are going to be in touch for the whole season. I don't see them threatening safety. Really, they just look like they've got all of the big problems. I think Alan Shearer kind of pointed it all out on Match of the Day last night, that basically in every single statistical sort of aspect, they are ranked bottom.
Yeah, I saw that.
So yeah, I think like if you look at the sort of expected points based on obviously the expected goals and chances created and things like that, we should be like 15th on like 8 or 9 points. So it's not a completely lost cause, but I would say you want to go in obviously with another 2-week break coming up shortly. And this sort of run of, obviously leave yesterday aside, but the run of slightly kinder games, you just need something to show for it. 4 or 6 points from those two is ultimately what we need, I think.
We want to do some score predictions, which I think is going to be pretty tricky. No one secured 3 points in our little predictions league, which just shows how bad we all thought it was going to be. Nobody thought it would just be 1-0. Literally everybody else was putting like 2s, 3s, 4s, and whatever. So, Glenn, I'm going to start with you. I mean, I'm thinking like 1-1. It's a game we need to win, and we'll probably end up with the draw. So I'm going to get in early doors with the 1-1.
Well, you negative, miserable sod. Yeah, I'm going to do me. I'm going to do my usual, and it's the reason why I'm bottom of the league is because I keep predicting us to win, and I'm going to do. I'm going to do that this week as well. So I'm going to go for a rank rotten performance and a 1-0 win. A horrible, scrappy one.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I've been drinking, haven't I? So
the total Saints goes there.
Makes you predict silly things. Yeah. So 1-0 with a Paul Onuachu winner. There you go.
Wow. My word. All right, we'll all be on that if that happens. Alfie?
It's all the same logic as above for Glen, so I'll just go for a 2-1 win.
2-1, right. And Steve?
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of think we'll win. How it comes about, Christ knows.
Do you think we win, or is it just that you convince yourself we need to?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we've been predicting these home games to be Saints wins for a while now. And I mean, the stop clock's got to tell the right time eventually, hasn't it? So, let's go the same as Alfie, 2-1.
2-1, right. If you're watching along live, make sure you put your comments and your score predictions into the comments whichever platform you're on. Anything else on Everton? I mean, he was a bit spiky this week again, Alfie, wasn't he, with the press conference about the guys from Sky and how it was breaking news that he was still in the job, and he was kind of saying, well, actually, do you know what? You're all desperate for me to get sacked, and I think we're just desperate to win a game.
No. Fair enough. From a Saints fan's point of view, yeah, that is right. But I think he wasn't spiky. I think he was just very sort of brash and defiant. And this is my view. And do you know what? I do actually agree with him in the sense that it's the only job in the world where you being sacked or not being sacked is breaking news. And
we do sort of up for job.
Yeah, exactly. And look, don't get me wrong, the trade-off is they get paid millions of pounds and they're in a privileged position that a lot of people would love to be in. I think he appreciates that as well. But there is an element of it's a little bit sort of crude and talking about their jobs and things like that. And in his mind, he's had conversations with the board and they're they know what the plan is. And he says that Leicester was never a do or die game. So to then come into the training ground the next day and see that you keeping your job is breaking news, I think he's well within his rights to have a pop. I think he's within his rights to have a pop at me when he does, and he's within his rights to have a pop at Sky Sports in this instance. And he was fine after Man City as well. So look, I understand where he's coming from with that one.
Big week though, guys.
Just a bit.
Yeah, it does feel like it's kind of defining. I think that the next is the international break after Wolves.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the defining time. And if he's worried about Sky, coming out with crap like that, now you wait until the international break when they don't have any coverage and they will be running out of things to talk about. So Sky in particular will be on overload during that international break, looking at managers under pressure. But luckily,
Ten Hag's going to get all of it.
I was just about to say, Eric Ten Hag is going to get most of it, and it is.
That penalty decision today was extraordinary, wasn't it?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to do my little bit of Sky reporting and say I cannot believe that Eric Ten Hag is still in a job.
I agree.
Absolutely amazing.
Can we get a breaking news banner running along?
Breaking news: Eric Ten Hag is still crap. But there you go.
I think the other revelation this week is that quite recently, I don't know exactly when he started because they had to wait for a work permit, but there is a set piece consultant currently working with Saints and working with the coaching staff. So I think they had to wait for him to start because of a work permit. But I mean, maybe that was before the Leicester game, so not an amazing start for him. But I think they've sort of recognised that there was a bit of a deficiency there defending set pieces, and they have brought someone in externally to work with them on that. So hopefully that will bear fruit over the next few weeks.
Will there be an official announcement about that? Do you think that will they say who it is? Is it just pending?
I don't. To be honest, I've not been given too much information about it. I think they're trying to keep it relatively hush. I think the fact that it's a consultant role rather than like an actual set piece coach probably suggests not. It's probably more of a sounding board, I would imagine, kind of like Colin was initially.
If he needs a work permit, I hope he speaks English.
Oh yeah, good point.
Well, anybody from Europe will need a work permit these days.
It's where we are.